What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. I'm TurboTin, and today we are going to be installing a new intake for my Civic FL5 Type R. I do have an announcement to make. We are so close as of today. We are at 995 subscribers. We are so close to the 1,000 mark, and I would like to thank and appreciate all of you who have followed me in my journey thus far. It's meant a lot to me, and that's what keeps me going. You know, all your support and all your comments in my videos makes me want to make more videos, better videos for you guys. So today we'll be installing a new intake. We'll see how much more noise or less noise it's going to make compared to the sprint filter that I have in here. And we'll see if we notice any gains from my butt dyno. And without further ado, let's get right into the install. All right, the first step is to remove the negative terminal on the battery, which is here. This will be done with a 10 millimeter. Alright, I ended up taking out the whole battery anyways because it would give me more room. It wasn't even that hard, so 3 10 mil bolts comes right out. Alright, next we'll be removing the clamps for the rubber boot inlet. I'll be using a 7/32 socket. Makes it super easy. Alright, next we'll be removing the harness that leads to the MAF sensor from the airbox. So undo all these clips right here. You can use the pliers, but I just use my hand. It's not that hard. So I'll unplug this as well. There you go, leave it on the side. Alright, now we'll remove the factory airbox right here. So there's one screw here, one here, one down there, and there's one right there. All 10 mils. What I found to be the easiest way to reach this bolt down here was to remove the rubber boot. So the rubber boot will be stuck in here, here, and 4 more hooks right there near the air inlet. Just take it out and then you can reach that bolt much easier. Alrighty, so now the stock airbox is out. Just keep in mind that there are 2 clips back here that hold on to your battery wires. So make sure you have a pliers to squeeze the clips out so you can take out the wires much easier. So for this installation, we're going to be reusing this bushing, rubber bushing from the OEM air inbox or air intake from right here. There's also the rubber bushing from the other side right here. What I found easiest was to remove this metal piece, then the rubber bushing will squeeze and comes out easily. So a subscriber mentioned in the last video that they wanted to see how much dust or particulate was in the air intake box with the sprint filter. So here it is. This is roughly 10,000 miles or so. Not too bad, I would say, but it is quite dirty in there. If you guys have an OEM filter that you want to take out and do a comparison, let me know. Post your pictures in the comment below. Okay, now we remove the MAF sensor from the original airbox, which is just some 2 Phillips head. It should come out. Alright, next we'll remove the OEM weather stripping from the air inlet, the original air inlet, and we'll put that onto the new intake. So back here, you'll have some clips. Let's see if I can focus. You'll have some clips back here. Just use some pliers and then you can just squeeze them out pretty easily. All right, next we're going to use the OEM weather stripping, and then we'll put it on our new intake. So all the holes are pre-drilled. It should line up only one way, and if you just saw, yes, if you guessed it, it is the PRL HVI intake for the FL5. So just put it on there. All right, when everything is all said and done, it should look like this. Weather striping is on. Only goes in one way, guys. Only one direction. All right, next we'll put the first rubber bushing into here. It'll be close to the rectangular hole. Just press it in. There you go. That's it. That's the first one. All right, guys. Next, we are going to install the other rubber bushing. Locate the PRL logo on the inbox, and that notch on top is where the bushing will go. Put the rubber bushing in first, and then the metal piece. Make sure it's facing up towards the logo, and just plug that in after. Next, we're going to put the air filter onto the MAF housing provided by PRL. Just put the filter onto the housing and tighten down the clamp to 30 inch-pounds. This is what the final product looks like. I used a flathead screwdriver to tighten down the clamp. 30 inch-pounds you can just hand tighten. It's not super difficult. Next, we'll put on the MAF sensor onto the filter. Make sure the arrow is facing away from where the filter is. The arrow points towards the inlet, and then we'll just put the 2 screws provided by PRL to secure down the MAF sensor. Next, we put the intake into the intake housing. Note the direction of the MAF sensor plug. Make sure that plug end is facing towards the PRL logo on the box. This is what the final product will look like when it's installed in the intake box. There are 4 bolts with washers that will go into the MAF housing. You can just hand tighten these because in the specs they only call for 15 inch-pounds. So hand tighten will be enough. Now we'll put the bottom cover on for the intake box. It just slips on, only goes in one way, and it's secured down by 4 bolts, and these can also be hand tightened. All right, up next we have the air ducting as well as the wire harness bracket. It only goes on one way, and that's using a hex bit, so just put that on. All right, for this next step, we're going to be taking out the ECU. So first, we'll take off the harness here and here, detach it from the ECU, and then we'll take out the ECU. Okay, up next, we'll take off the top of the ECU. That's just 2 clips, 4 clips, pop it up, it's open, and then the ECU will have these pull tabs. Just make sure you pull carefully. So if you can see here, make sure you pull your ECU tab all the way forward, and then it should just come off very easily. Should not need to force anything. You don't want to damage any pins on your ECU. That's a very, very bad thing. Your car is going to break. So keep that in mind. To take out the ECU, you're going to need to remove 3 bolts. So one is down there, right below the ECU. And then the next 2 are up here, right next to your fuse box. So one there, and one right behind the ECU. From down here, you're going to disconnect 1 and 2 connectors from this harness right here. This harness disconnects with a 10 mil bolt. Doing this allows you to put in the bottom air inlet from the PRL intake. All right, you're going to want to remove this bracket that was holding on to the 2 wiring harness. First, you want to remove on the left side, it's just a tab, and then you pull out. And then on the right side, you can just push it towards the back, and then the connector will come out. All right, so I put the secondary air inlet right where the metal bracket used to be. Just hand tighten this bolt. I didn't want to flex it too much, but hand tighten should be enough. And then this wiring harness just goes slip on top of the metal wiring harness hinge plate thingy. Just slips on and it'll click in place. And then just tidy up these other harnesses with some zip ties to make it clean. And then we're good for down here. All right, next up, I put the ECU back together. Just make sure when you put the pins on, do it very carefully. You should not have to force anything. Again, if one of those pins break, then you're SOL. I'm pretty sure the ECU is like $1,500 or something from Honda. And you need to get it flashed for your car as well, so don't want to do all that. Put the ECU, connect the connectors, and then tighten down all the 3 bolts that were used to take out the ECU, and you're good for this step. All right, put the wiring harness on top of the air duct back into the original place. And then mine came with the seal already put on, but if yours didn't, just make sure you put that on there. All right, the next part involved removing this plastic cover from the MAF wiring harness. I just use a small flathead bit, and then what you want to do is pry from the top here so that the cover opens, the tap opens, and then you just repeat it all the way throughout and just take out your cover. Okay. After the wire has been stripped from the plastic housing, use the provided wire loom cover. Slip the wires in there and then make sure it's protected. All right, for the next step, I had to take out this ducting, rubber ducting from the inlet pipe. As far as this top part goes, you just have to slip it out very carefully. Make sure you don't break anything. This is a metal housing. So took this out, put this part in from PRL, and then loosely tighten it with my flathead screwdriver, this clamp, and this clamp. Next is to put the other silicone hose onto the air intake box right next to the MAF sensor. Make sure the PRL logo is reading towards your right, like so. Tighten down the clamp a little bit, but keep it loose so you can make some fine adjustment later. All right, so the box is in now, along with the silicone hoses. And I cannot stress this enough, these clamps, make sure you leave them loose so that you can make adjustments. This middle part right here was giving me issues because if I connect it to here, then the airbox won't fit. So what I had to do was install this together at the same time. So put the airbox in, put one side here, one side there, and just squeeze it so that everything fits perfectly. Make sure there are no gaps anywhere, just so that you have a good fit, and chances of you throwing a check engine light is lower, if not at all, hopefully. And then the next step is just to put all the screws back together, put the battery back in, and then we're done with the install. So when you first drive the car after installing the intake, your dashboard will be lit up like a Christmas tree with a bunch of warning lights. Do not be alarmed. As you keep driving, your system will start reinitializing and all the lights should go away. It's not a guaranteed, but just something to keep in mind. Just don't be too worried when you see a bunch of lights on your dash when you first start it back up. What's up guys, Editington here. I hope that video was helpful in helping you install the PRL intake. The sound is great in person in the car. I wasn't able to capture that with my GoPro, which is unfortunate, but it did sound very good. Louder than the Sprint filter that I had in before. Butt Dyno says it is faster, but you know, obviously I can't tell horse numbers from my butt, so we'll have to get that on the dyno in the future when everything is bolted on and you know all my plans with the car has been done. I do apologize. I'm sick, so if my voice didn't sound right, I apologize. You know, it is what it is. Still out here making great videos. So make sure hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this with all your friends. So help me out, make more content in the future. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, and I thank each and every one of you guys for staying here with me, helping me on my journey of building this car. More content will be coming soon, so just stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.